we are going to talk about have most of us are either have their had spring break or are currently on spring break, and so I felt like it would be fun for us to talk about how executive function skills can be organically developed during spring break. And today we're going to talk about strategies that kids can use of all ages. We are getting a ton of calls from families asking for support on what executive function skills are, how they can develop these in children. Right now, we know that kids nowadays, for whatever reason, have poor executive function skills. And I think there's a lot that is due to that. First of all, our world is fast. Things are, the pace of the world is much faster than back in the day when we had more unstructured free time. And so we had the chance to develop executive function skills through play, through being outdoors, playing with others, playing off our screens. Nowadays, kids are on screens a lot, which doesn't really develop EF skills. And we're seeing a lot of kids that are overscheduled, which also doesn't help the development of EF skills. So one thing that, I did not mention, will not mention in our video today, but scheduling creating unstructured time for your kids to just be kids and have fun is one of the best ways you can develop executive function skills, along with exercise and sports. And today we're going to talk about a lot of other strategies, but we know executive function skills impacts the ability for kids to plan, to control their impulses, to problem solve, to sequence, organize themselves, initiate doing something. And these skills are crucial and they're needed to get through life and manage relationships and basically just do life in general, right? So during the school year, executive function skills don't just impact academics, they impact everything that we have to do with our day-to-day life. It's basically how we talk ourselves from getting to point A to point B, the in-between of that. And I'm going to share with you a couple strategies that you can start using at home. But so one way we really want to incorporate things is we want to incorporate time management skills into your child's time, right? When our kids are on break or when we're on break, we lose track of time, and that's normal, and it's actually recommended because it's important for all of us to take a step back, to have a break, to click the reset button on us, right? On just life in general. But however, one of the biggest challenges we see in families in teens and in young adults and preteens is that, they just want to have completely unstructured time during their breaks. They don't get a plate. They don't want any bedtime. Like they just want to totally check out and relax. And we really would love to encourage them to have and continue with structured but flexible activities. And so one way to develop time awareness using these structures and structured but flexible activities and to develop the skills is to ask them to plan an outing with friends. Kids with ADHD oftentimes really struggle with initiating plans, with sticking to them. And so a really fun way for families to incorporate the development of EF skills is by helping your child plan an outing, whether that be an outing with friends or an outing with your family. They can, plan something to go, make plans to go to the beach, to go to the movies, to go to the mall. Ask them what they would like to do, who they would like to invite, how they would like to invite them, when they plan on inviting them, things that they can do during this outing, how long it will take to get there, and when everyone should be coming back. So there's a ton of planning involved there, and it's done very organically. Once your kids learn these skills in a fun way, they will be able to apply them to their academic setting. I promise you that, right? So the main goal in all of these strategies that I will share is for your child to just have fun. Because in the example that I gave on planning an outing, your child is initiating a task, focused on the task. They are planning the task, they're organizing, they are sequencing the steps to the task. It requires a lot of working memory to be able to plan something like this. And then it's not just something that is a one and done deal. This is something that they're going to carry out over the course of maybe a couple days. So it's a really fun way for them to do this. Another another way they can develop EF skills, and we're going to talk about organization, is by planning something, an activity. So not so much an outing anymore, but now we're really planning on activities. Kids with ADHD need a ton of help in organization. And if you have a child or you yourself have ADHD, you know that personal belongings, academics, their computer screen has a million icons. Their room is a mess. Their backpack is scattered. Basically, these kids are pretty scattered, right? And so they just don't have the skills to organize and put things back in homes or group and categorize things. So we recommend that during spring break, you help them or they choose a project so they can learn how to cook something, they can learn how to do something, they can redecorate their room, organize their workspace. A lot of, I know I hate to stereotype, but a lot of girls in particular really like to organize their desk and really kind of hit click the reset on like the spring cleaning. That's also something else they can do. But this is going to help them, it's going to help them develop planning and organization skills in a fun and unstructured way, right? So with them, you can help them to break down the project into manageable chunks. So what supplies do they need? What support do they need? What they want this project the end product to look like? Will they need your help or anyone else's help? Do they need to go to the store? When they want to do it, how long this project is going to take them. Maybe they also need to create a budget for the project, right? So if they're looking to purchase a couple of supplies to redecorate their room, like maybe they need to save up for that project. So you want to give them ownership of the project and offer your support, step in as needed, but let them be the lead in this project. Again, we are an executive function and ADHD coaching practice. So I'm going to share with you the last strategy. But if you are looking for one-on-one support for your neurodiverse learner or your child who has ADHD, please reach out to us, schedule a call with us at wethriveLearning.com. I'd love to chat with you and teach you about our unique approach. It is a blend of various strategies that we use here at We Thrive and ways that we have seen the most success with all of our kiddos. So please reach out to me if you have any questions. And the last way for your child to develop EF skills, well, not the last way, but the last way I'm going to share here is to help them manage their budget. And all these activities are also things you can do with them in the summer. But managing your budget, right? So if you give them like an allowance or you have them earn the money and they have to save up to buy something that they really want or figure out how they want to spend that money, is going to require them to develop planning, self-control, prioritization, and delayed gratification. And delayed gratification is a necessary skill that we all need help on developing, right? Our world right now is functioning on instinct gratification and that delayed gratification in kids these days. So the more we can practice this, the better. So help them to save up for something that they want to buy. Don't just have them purchase the toy. If your child is driving, help them earn gas money. This is going to show them how to be responsible in managing budget. And we know kids with ADHD really struggle with impulse purchases. You give them $20, they're going to spend $30 instantly. This skill is really helpful for them to start practicing even at a really young age, right? For them to begin to understand the value of a dollar. So you can give them an allowance or have them earn it. Small weekly amounts is best than giving them a big chunk all at once. You want them to slowly earn this money and have something to look forward to, and determine what you will cover during spring break and what you will not cover. So are you covering gas, social activities with friends? Be specific with them so they know what they can expect you to purchase and what you're expecting them to purchase and save up for. You can model to them how you track your own spending, right? So you can show them, I don't know if they have a debit card, you can show them how to log in, create an account with them, ask them how they're going to save, ask them to weigh out the pros and cons of purchasing something. Really, this is a golden opportunity for them to start weighing out if the purchase is necessary. Maybe they really want something at the store that they see and they have the money, and you ask them, hey, are you open to waiting until tomorrow to see if you still want it that much? 9 out of 10 times, they're probably not going to want it anymore. So that again, this is all teaching them how to delay gratification and helping them to make decisions for themselves. This is going to promote thoughtful decision making because they're making an informed decision based on weighing out the pros and cons and really thinking it through versus an impulsive decision, and also teach them how to prioritize. So we've shared with you 3 strategies to help them develop executive function skills this spring break, and we know there's many, many more, but these are just some activities. You can play board games with them. If you go online, there are tons of board games. You just Google EF skill board games, and you're going to get a lot for various ages. You can play board games with them. Again, planning an outing, having them just be kids with unstructured free time, practicing exercise, engaging in sports, helping them to come up with a fun project and helping them plan it. And then lastly, help them in managing their budget. So